I'm Ashton Addison from EventChain for Investment Pitch Media and FinTech News Network. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Ian Richard, the inventor, and David Olsson, the technical lead at LODEone. Thank you guys so much for being on the show. It's a pleasure to have you today. I'm looking forward to hearing a little bit about how you guys are revolutionizing the silver in the blockchain industry. If you guys would, please just start out a little bit, maybe you, Ian, with what is the LODEone project, and how specifically are you guys making this revolution?
Sure. Thanks, Ashton, for inviting us on the call today. We appreciate it. The LODE project is a collectively organized community of enthusiastic silver stackers and silver enthusiasts. The project is established essentially on a two-token system, where each token having a unique relationship to the physical silver that's vaulted. Currently, there's approximately 15.79 million grams of silver vaulted in 7 vaults globally or worldwide. And that silver has been tokenized on behalf of its owner, which is the LODE token holder. And the system essentially works where individuals that have silver that would like to put it to work on the blockchain as a working asset of theirs can load it into the system, take a digital receipt in the form of a LODE token, which tracks the silver's life cycle on the internet, on the blockchain to infinity, and enables the creation of AGX coins, which is the silver secured money in the system. As the AGX tokens work in the marketplace, the stack of silver in the vaults increases. And it's not a magic trick. It does that essentially transaction to transaction. And as the monetary mass grows in these vaults, the marginal extra silver is paid back or paid out to the LODE token holders. So it's actually not a complicated system. It's ambitious and can only be done because the blockchain has the capability of tracking assets to infinity.
That's great. Thank you, Ian. So, we've had a lot of people in cryptocurrency have been in precious metals for a long time. I know many people that are interested in the tokenization of these precious metals. For those people, in a nutshell, what is the benefit besides just holding a silver bar in your hand to holding silver through LODE? Is it easier, or you don't have to, go to the store and get it? What are the simple benefits of using the LODE system for silver?
Well, there's many, and the systems, it's intended that the system would solve certain inefficiencies that exist in the current silver marketplace. So that's really important to key in on. The inefficiencies that exist currently with silver is: 1, it's very heavy. 2, it can be challenging to store it, can pose security issues for families to hold it. Secondly, it's really hard to spend, to buy a coffee with, or to do trade and commerce. Most people that own silver today, they know how to use it. They might have more challenges teaching their children how to use silver money, but essentially the system and the community on a whole are advocates for holding precious metals. So the system doesn't necessarily remove or doesn't urge individuals to put all of their silver to work. The system is constructed so that some of the silver that individuals are currently holding, and it's been estimated that roughly 500 million ounces of silver currently are sitting in private hands worldwide. And some of this silver could go to work on the internet on a system like this and be kept track of as it works. So putting the silver to work is the intention of the system, and solving some of these inefficiencies that currently exist with the silver industry, solving them is the intention.
That's great. Thank you. So, David, you guys spoke at the beginning that this is a 2-token system. Now, I've seen two token systems very briefly in cryptocurrency, but I've never seen one that integrates precious metals. You guys have the LODE token and you have the AGX coin. Can you speak a little bit about how these two coins interact within the system, and where's the value in the silver, being held specifically?
Well, it is a very unique system in that one side of the coin, as it were, is the LODE token holders, who have actually created the monetary mass that enables the AGX coin users. So one group of people are advocates for the use of silver and want to put it to work and get rewarded for building some 16 million grams right now in terms of the mass. And the other group that actually has a need for a stable coin and a stable currency can utilize that silver in a day-to-day fashion, from cars to coffees. So they both have different use cases, but they both have a unique relationship to the silver.
That's great. And I foresee stablecoins as one of the top trends of 2019. So it sort of makes sense to have that stability, especially with the volatility of cryptocurrencies compared to the current volatility of silver. So I like where you guys are going with that. Now, I looked into it a little further and I saw that you guys are minting these coins and running the ecosystem on the Syscoin blockchain. Now, did you guys compare different blockchains, and why did you guys end up going with Syscoin at the end of the day?
Did we compare blockchains? Did we compare blockchain? We spent a lot of time doing a lot of research, talking to a lot of different people. Spent a fair amount of time analyzing Ethereum and ERC20 solutions, and then we were introduced to Syscoin, Jag and team, and found that they had a solution for us that could actually be used as money in real time. And not only did they have that, they had a roadmap that actually mirrored some of the ambition that we have put in front of us. So they're providing what I would call a tier 1 and tier 2 solution for us to build community solutions on top of, so that we can actually service the mandate for our community effectively well. Yeah. And so we feel very confident, and we've had a very tight relationship with them. They've course corrected with us as we learn and as the community evolves and the technology innovates. And in this space, it's very important that you actually can have a tight partnership with companies and organizations that recognize innovation is the champion. And we're very happy with where we're at. We're actually in the Blockchain Foundry office right now.
Awesome, that's great. And I'm glad you guys are happy. And I know that the Syscoin blockchain has really good support. So I think you guys are in good hands. So let's go back to the tokens for a second. Can you guys talk about the LODE payout and the value that's derived from token holders as they are in the ecosystem?
Yeah, sure. We've been searching for a real world reference in technology that could give our audience an easy way or easy illustration to work with as far as how the system works. Maybe Uber, where you have a user and an owner. You have an owner of a car that wants to put it to work, and a Uber system matches you with a user, and the ride happens. Airbnb does something similar with real world assets and real estate. Takes your private home, makes it available to an audience, finds you a qualified user, makes sure that everybody gets paid, and keeps track of, essentially keeps track of your inventory and turns your property into an income stream. I suppose the other way to look at it is, in law, essentially, if you've ever used a valet service and you take your car to your favorite restaurant and you drop it off and hand the keys to the valet, your expectation is that he's going to take care of your car, that he's going to park it in a secure place, and then you're going to get it back in the same condition, or even better, maybe they'll wash it and it comes back to you in better condition. So we've been searching for a way to illustrate what the system is. Those three examples would be sort of hybrids of what this is. We're taking physical assets and putting them to work, making sure that they're secured and vaulted and insured, and that the users respect the use of these assets and are willing to use them in their daily life, and return the rewards back or the payouts back to the owner of the silver. That's why there's two tokens. You've got an owner and you have a user. And the two of them come together to create or construct a monetary system which restores silver as money, which has been a dream of this community for a very long time.
That's very interesting, and I like the analogy to the valet. But what I'm curious about is, as this is a blockchain project, is this fully decentralized, or how does the business economics work of the holders and the token holders? And like, is the corporation using their authority to dish out, or how does the decentralization work?
Good question.
That's a good question.
We both looked at each other. I'll let you take a stab at it.
You'll be the first to hear this. We've been keeping some of the legal framework very, very quiet in the community. Essentially, in law, when you have an asset and you are willing to allow another person to use your asset, in law, in common law, that is called bailment. Like the valet. You allow them to take your car and put it in the garage. You also allow them to wash it. Sometimes mistakes happen and maybe you get a scratch on your car that you didn't expect. But the expectation is that essentially your asset's going to come back to you. Not necessarily in the same form, but it's coming back. The system is constructed around a service provider's network, because there doesn't really need to be in a corporation or a big corporate entity to accomplish these things. Besides, the community is looking for an ecosystem, and it's not really possible to supply all of the interests that the community might be seeking. So back to the owner of the silver, that's in law called the bailor. Bailment is a foundational law that leasing and renting contracts have been constructed on top of. So it's over 200 years old. So it's a very old law. You can, as the bailor, allow the bailee, which is the user or the AGX coin, to have a service provider assisting you to accomplish the objectives. For instance, the valet doesn't own the parkade necessarily where your car is going. They made an arrangement with the parking owner, parking lot owner. They've also made an arrangement possibly with the person that washes your car while it's in the valet. And they've made an arrangement with the insurance company, which insures them for taking care of your car while it's in the parkade. So there's all sorts of levels of service that needs to go along with providing this all-comprising service, which completes the bailment arrangement. So again, you're the first to hear this, so I don't want to sort of make things too complicated, but essentially the owner of the silver is working with the user of the silver and the service providers collectively in an alliance to accomplish the fulfillment of the arrangement. So there is no corporation. There are only service providers, and right now there are 33 service providers in the first tier of the community, and we expect that will grow when, say, for instance, exchanges get involved, or ATM networks get involved, or POS providers get involved, or the blockchain migrates with the help of the Blockchain Foundry guys, and we bring in more service providers, and we have payment gateways and things like that all plugging in. It's much better to have a service providers alliance than it is to have one individual corporation. You couldn't possibly accomplish all of this in an ecosystem with one corp.
And it also curiously harmonizes with the blockchain itself in the technology base of being decentralized and distributed. Yeah, and it allows for certain people to move in and out of the ecosystem, and meanwhile the whole of the community can still function. So it is very project in that regard, and from a technologist point of view, it's very interesting how it does harmonize with the tech that we chose.
That's great. Well, I'm looking forward to reading a little bit more into that, because it sounds like a very interesting layout that you guys have. So I just have one last pressing question. I'm curious about the silver itself. I know you guys mentioned how much you guys had at the beginning, but is the amount of silver audited? Is there a picture or video of the silver? And are you guys planning on getting more silver?
Well, there's actually going to be 5 audits in the series of audits. That the first audit is when the silver is checked in to the system, and it gets counted.
Double signing approach.
Double signing approach, and then the vaulting companies they do their own internal audit every quarter and count the silver. And then Bureau Veritas, which is a world-leading precious metals auditing company, they're presently doing an audit of the 7 vaults right now. They do an audit, and then the expectation is that the community would be invited from time to time to inspect the vaults and send up the photographic evidence that the physical silver is actually there.
Touch the silver.
Touch the silver, and they will basically take a key that they earn through some sort of rewarding system, and they will go visit the vault, count it, and load up the photos.
That's great. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing those pictures and those audits as well. So that's good to hear. Thank you so much. We're pretty much out of time. Ian, David. David, what's the best way for other people to get involved into the LODEone project and learn more?
The best place to start is at LODE.one. We have an active Telegram community, but you can find all the starting points to participating, contributing to the project, and being an advocate for the project at LODE.one. LODE.one.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. I'm looking forward to following up and hearing more about your guys' decentralized processes and seeing the silver. And all the best to you guys in 2019. And I'll talk to you guys next time.
Thank you, Ashton.
Thank you, Ashton. Cheers.
Cheers.